Greetings, esteemed professor and colleagues. Myself, Swapnil Mamgain, registration number 22BSA 10012. On behalf of Group 9, we'll be discussing the negotiations involved in Act 1, Scene 1 of Macbeth.
Hello guys, I wonder what is the significance of the opening scene in Macbeth?
I would like to take this one. The opening scene sets the tone for the entire play. The opening scene of Macbeth is crucial in establishing the overall tone and atmosphere of the play. Set in a desolate landscape amidst thunder and lightning, the setting immediately conveys a sense of chaos and foreboding. The tremulous weather is reflective of the disorder and turmoil that will soon engulf the human world within the play. The presence of the witches in this environment further amplifies the eerie and unsettling mood, as their very existence hints at the supernatural force that will play a significant role in the narrative. The witches' cryptic dialogue, "When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?" establishes an immediate connection between them and the chaotic forces of nature. This association suggests that the natural world is being disturbed, mirroring the impending disturbance in the human world. The witch's paradoxical statement, "fair is foul and foul is fair," introduces the theme of appearance versus reality, indicating the betrayal and moral ambiguity that will characterize the play, effectively preparing the audience for the dark and complex narrative ahead. With this, I conclude.
So, guys, I was wondering, like, how do the witches contribute to the theme of the supernatural in Macbeth?
I would like to answer that. I am Prithvi Narayan Singh, registration number 22BC 10728. Now, analyzing the role of the witches in foreshadowing the events of the play and their impact on Macbeth's fate. The witches in Macbeth are central to the theme of supernatural, serving as agent of chaos and prophecy. Their presence and action creates an atmosphere of otherworldliness, suggesting that unseen forces are at play in the human realm. The witches' prophecy are pivotal in foreshadowing the events of the play, as they predict Macbeth's rise to the power and his eventual downfall. This supernatural element not only drives the plot forward, but also underscores the play's exploration of fate and free will. The witches' impact on Macbeth's fate is profound. Their initial prophecy that Macbeth will become king plants the seed of ambition in his mind, setting him on the path of murder and tyranny. While the witches do not directly control Macbeth's action, their prediction influences his decision and reinforces his darkest desire. This blurring of lines between prophecy and manipulation raises question whether Macbeth is merely a pawn of fate or if he actively shapes his destiny through his choices. The witches, therefore, embody the supernatural forces that both guides and unsettle the human characters, highlighting the play's exploration of power, ambition, and moral corruption. Now that concludes my thoughts.
Hello guys. I wonder what is the symbolic significance of the stormy weather in the opening scene.
Guys, I would like to take on this one. My name is Daksh, and the registration number is 22PC 11120. The stormy weather in the opening scene of Macbeth is highly symbolic, reflecting the chaos and disaster that will permeate the play. The thunder and lightning that accom- accompany the witches' meeting create a sense of foreboding and unease, suggesting that the natural order is being disrupted. The tumultuous weather sets the tone for the play, indicating that the events to follow will be marked by conflict and upheaval. It serves as a metaphor for the moral and political chaos that will use as Macbeth's ambition leads him to commit regicides and plunge Scotland into turmoil. Throughout the play, stormy weather often coincides with moments of great tension and upheaval. For example, the night of King Duncan's murder is marked by the violent storms and natural occurrences, symbolizing the disruption of the natural and moral order. The stormy weather in the opening scene, therefore, foreshadows the series of violent and chaotic events that will unfold as Macbeth's unchecked ambition that leads to breakdown of social and political stability. The use of weather as a symbol of disorder highlights the play's exploration of the consequences of moral corruption and the fragility of human order. So with this, I'll conclude my part.
Guys, I wonder what do the witches mean by fair is foul and foul is fair?
Guys, I would like to carry forward this discussion. My name is Sofiquee Fiaz, holding registration number 22 BC 10153. The witch's statement, fair is foul and foul is fair, is one of the most famous lines in the Magnet and serves as a key thematic element of the play. This paradoxical phrase suggests the appearance can be deceived and that what seems good or fair may actually be a bad or foul, and vice versa is true as well. It introduces the theme of the appearance versus reality, which runs throughout the play and is central to the exploration of deceit, ambition, and moral ambiguity. This theme is evident in the characters, actions, and the unfold plot. Macbeth himself embodies this paradox as the appearance to be a loyal and honorable warrior, but harbor ambitions, thoughts that led him into committing a hideous act. Similarly, Lady Macbeth presents herself as a loving and supportive wife, while secretly plotting the Duncan's murder. The deceptive nature of the appearance is further highlighted by the witches, whose prophecy seemed to be promising, but ultimately led to Macbeth's destruction. The phrase fair is foul and foul is fair encapsulates the play exploration of the disjunction between appearance and reality, emphasizes the dangers of the unchecked ambition and the moral complexity of human behavior. In conclusion, the witch's paradoxical statement fair is foul and foul is fair is a thematic device that profoundly shapes the narrative and thematic structure of Macbeth. It encapsulates the play's exploration of deceptive appearance, moral ambiguity, and destabilizing effects of the unchecked ambition. This phrase sets the tone for the tragic narrative where the characters grasp with the disjunction between reality and perception, ultimately revealing the consequences of a world where nothing is as seemed as it is. With this, I would like to conclude my discussion.
I would like to ask a question. How does Shakespeare create a sense of foreboding in the opening scene?
Guys, I would like to answer this question. My name is Devansh Jadon and holding the registration number 22 BCE 10134. Shakespeare masterfully creates a sense of foreboding in the opening scene of Macbeth through the use of language, imagery, and the presence of witches. The scene is set in an isolated and desolate place amid thunder and lightning, which immediately establishes a dark, ominous mood. The witch's dialogue is filled with cryptic and airy phrases, such as "When shall we meet again?" in thunder, in lightning, or in rain, and "Fear is foul and foul is fear." These lines contribute to the sense of unease and foreshadow the chaotic events that will follow. The imagery in the opening scene further enhances the scene for foreboding. The witches themselves are described in terms that suggest their otherworldliness and malevolence, with reference to their beards and unnatural appearance. Their presence on a heath, a barren or hostile environment add to the feeling of dread. The language used by the witches, with its rhythm and incantory quality, creates an almost hypothetic effect, your hypnotic effect, drawing the audience into a world where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural are blurred. This combination of language, imagery, and setting effectively establishes a dark or foreboding atmosphere. setting the stage for the tragic events that will unfold in the Macbeth. So, thus, I will like to conclude my point.
Hello everyone. Now I will ask the question. How do the witches' prophecies influence the plot of the Macbeth? Can anyone answer it?
I would like to answer this question. The witches' prophecies play a crucial role in influencing the plot of Macbeth. Their predictions spark Macbeth's ambition and set him on a path towards murder and tyranny. When the witches first pro- prophesy that Macbeth will become king, they plant a seed of ambition in his mind. This prophecy ignites Macbeth's desire for power and leads him to contemplate actions he would not have otherwise considered. As the plot progresses, the witch's subsequent prophecies continue to influence Macbeth's decisions, pushing him further down a path of moral and political corruption. The question of whether the witches merely predict the future or actively shape it through their prophecies is a central debate in the play. On one hand, the witches could be seen as simply revealing what is destined to happen, suggesting that Macbeth's fate is predetermined. On the other hand, their prophecies can be interpreted as manipulative, influencing Macbeth's actions and thereby shaping the course of events. This ambiguity raises questions about free will and determinism, as it is unclear whether Macbeth is a victim of fate or if he actively chooses his own path. The witches therefore embody the supernatural forces that both reveal and influence human behavior, highlighting the complex interplay between fate and free will in the play. With this, I would like to conclude my answer.
Guys, I'm curious about what literary devices does Shakespeare use in Act 1, Scene 1 to engage the audience?
I would like to take on this one. Hello, my name is Ansh Agarwal and my registration number is 22 BC 11668. My negotiation point will be we should discuss the use of alliteration, rhyme, and other literary techniques in the Witches dialogue. In the Act 1, Scene 1 of Macbeth, Shakespeare employs a variety of literary devices to engage the audience and create a memorable and impactful opening. One of the most prominent techniques used is alliteration, as in scene the vision's chant, fair is foul and foul is fair. The repetition of F sound creates a rhythmic and hypnotic quality, drawing the audience into the witcher's world and emphasizing the paradoxical nature of their speech. This alliteration also contributes to the unsettling atmosphere as it reinforces the theme of the appearances versus reality. I would conclude with another point. Rhyme is an another key literacy used in the Witcher's dialogue. Their lines often end in the rhyming couplets, such as when the hurdy-burdy is done, when the battle's lost and won. This use of rhyme gives their speech a sing-song quality, enhancing the sense of otherworldliness and ritualistic incantation. The Witcher's dialogue is also characterized by its brevity and cryptic nature, with short and enigmatic phrases that leave much to the audience imagination. This economy of the language creates a sense of mystery and intrigue, compelling the audience to pay close to the attention to their words and setting the tone for the supernatural elements of the play. Thank you. I will conclude my part.
I have a question. Like, how do the witches symbolizes the moral confusion in the Macbeth?
I believe I can answer to this question better. My name is Shreyansh. My registration number is 22BI 10045. So the witches in Macbeth serve as potent symbols of the moral confusion that preemits the play. Their cryptic statements and paradoxical behavior blur the lines between good and evil, right and wrong, thereby mirroring the moral ambiguity that characterizes the Macbeth's journey. Their famous chant, fair is foul and foul is fair encapsulates this confusion, suggesting that appearances can be deceptive and that moral certainties and elusive. The witch's actions and words create an atmosphere where traditional moral boundaries are challenged. They do not explicitly tell Macbeth to communicate evil acts, yet their prophecies nudge him towards decisions that led to moral corruption. This ambiguity is central to the play's exploration of moral complexity. It raises questions about whether Macbeth is inherently evil or if he is led astray by external influences. The witch's role in the play thus highlights this theme of moral confusion as they embody the forces that push characters towards moral compromise and ethical uncertainty. Their influences underscores the idea that in the world of Macbeth, clear distinctions between good and evil are difficult to maintain, leading to tragic unraveling of both individual and social order. Yeah, I've concluded my statement.
Hey guys, let's talk about the first scene. How does the first scene introduce key themes of the play? Can anyone expand on that?
Yeah, I would like to answer this. So my name is Chayan Sharma, and my registration number is 22 BSA 10078. So in the first scene of the Macbeth introduces several key themes that will be explored throughout the play, including ambition, fate, and the supernatural. The presence of the witches immediately signals the importance of supernatural as their overworldly nature and cryptic prophecies suggest that unseen forces are at play. Their dialogues filled with paradoxes and enigmatic statements hints at the theme of the fate, as they seem to possess knowledge of the future events as the destinies of the character. This raises questions about whether the characters' actions are predeterministic or if they have the power to shape their own fates. The theme of the ambition is also subtly introduced in the opening scene through the witch's prophecy by predicating that Macbeth will become king. The witches plant the seed of ambition in his mind, setting the stage for his eventual rise to power up subsequent downfall. This initial hint at ambition foreshadows the central conflict of the play as Macbeth desires for power leads him to commit increasingly ruthless acts. So, foundation for exploration of ambition, fate, and the supernatural that will unfold throughout the play. With this, I would like to conclude my answer. So, does anyone have anything to say else?
No.
Okay. So, I guess we have covered every aspect of the negotiations of Act 1, Part 1 of Macbeth, and we should conclude now. Thank you, everyone.